Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello, hello.
Hello. Welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here we are all about encouraging the 3Cs, connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and creators sharing their experiences despite their distance.
And the C3 team member that is leading tonight's discussion is Miss Dori, also known to everyone as DSpence, and using her superpowers to install confidence around those around her and helping them become techsperts in their own adventures. So, Dori, tonight's topic is going to be very, very interesting because we're actually going to be thinking and doing stuff with our own stream, which is freaking awesome. So, tell us about what show flow is and why it's so important for creators to be using.
So, first of all, I am so stinking excited to actually be workshopping live because this behind the scenes stuff I think is not represented enough online. I think it's really important for content creators to see the process and the collaboration piece that shows go through. So, moving on to your question. So, show flow, quite simply, is basically just an organized structure, and it's how you pace your video. That's either recorded or live stream. And it's the way the content is structured, the order of your topics, how you break things down into segments. And it even goes so far as to determine the transitions you use, what kind of engagement strategies you want to implement, and basically just the overall narrative or informational progression, depending on the goal of your live stream and how that's designed all to keep the audience engaged. So, creating an effective show flow is really, really essential to answer your second question, Kevin, for keeping viewers engaged. Number one, conveying your message effectively because people don't want to wade through confusion, and building a loyal audience. So, this all adds up to exactly what we strive to do here at C3, and that is to create a positive viewer experience that contributes to the success of others in the online creation space. So, Manny, we are 53 episodes in. I know. And I am really curious to hear what part of our show flow are you most excited to do a refresh on tonight?
Well, I do like our show flow, the way it goes, and every time you start that music, I'm whistling Dixie to that thing because I love the tune, so I'm used to it. But one of the things that I'm most excited is implementing a hook. Because truth is, that is a very important part of any live stream, any video for the most part, because what is going to hook them in to make them stick around till the end. So I think that is an important part, and I know that you put a lot of thought and time into this, and so with you bringing it to the table makes it me super extra excited about what you're going to teach. Because as someone with clients and we do live streaming, and what we're doing is I don't say we jump on a video, I say we have a show. They're creating a show. We have a cooking show. We have a home building show. We have a show, so. But I cannot say that I have a good template that I follow and I am filling out. So I'm truly excited about having this workshop to really dive deeper into what little pieces I could be missing that can add that much more value. So I'm super excited. Kevin, what about you? What are you most excited about that we're going to be refreshing about our show flow?
Um, I'm going to say all of the above. I've done different show flows myself, and just trying to get new ideas and like you said, a refresh. And I'm sure Dory's content has looked at sort of what are the trending things that are going on in the space these days. and finding out the materials, the tools, sort of what is the recommendation of things to refresh to get that engagement with your audience. So I'm definitely looking forward to all of it. So I have my notepad here ready to go as well. So looking forward to the content Dori is about to present to us. So if this is the type of content that you'd like to see more of, please consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you know when we go live and share this wonderful, wonderful content with you. So with that, let's head on over to the content and start learning.
Well, I hate to break it to you two, but you're not going to really have a chance to be taking a lot of notes tonight because you're going to be working just as hard as me.
Should I put
Love
my
it.
safety glasses back on?
That's right. That's right. So we are going to focus our attention on crafting a revised show flow that addresses the addition of things like what Manny said, the very, very important opening hook and value proposition, and modification to things that we already implement, like countdown timers, overlays, or call to action statements. And this is all with the goal to help better serve our audience. And I think this is a perfect time with 50 some episodes under our belt. I think that this is a prime opportunity for us to evaluate, reevaluate, and then change things up as we see fit. So specifically, we need to consider one of the newer features of YouTube. Now, I'm sure everyone and their brother already knows, but when you are browsing, scrolling through YouTube, and you pause on a video, or if you're on the TV, it auto plays the beginning of the video when you pause on it. So the first few seconds of a video are now even more vital than ever to its success. Coupled with attention-grabbing titles and thumbnails, those are always going to be top of mind. So we need to consider changing things up to take full advantage of those first few seconds in capturing the audience attention and hopefully making them stay for more. So that is our goal for tonight. And with that, what I'm going to do now is, I was getting all geeky today. I made a new overlay. And so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to kind of go through what our current show flow looks like. And just for the sake of things, guys, so you understand, I went back through and I did some number crunching on our last 10 videos to kind of come to an average length of time that we currently do things. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of talk about some of the things we want to change, delete, rearrange, and so on and so forth. And if you are joining us tonight, we would love if you get in the comments and engage and interact with us real time, because your opinions matter way more than ours. So we want to hear from you. So our current show flow is on the screen right now, and our show starts with a countdown timer. There is no camera, so you do not see our faces. It's literally just a moving overlay with our C3 logo, some music, and it is currently 3 minutes long. Now, how do you guys want to address one thing, or do you want to just quickly span through our current show flow and then kind of go back and talk about what we want to change?
I like the scanning through everything of what we currently do and then going back
perfect.
after.
Perfect. So our countdown timer is 3 minutes, and we do trim that on our channels after the live stream. So that does go away for the replay. So those 3 minutes don't exist after the fact. Then we have our welcome, and it's our 3-head overlay. We're all waving, saying hello when the camera comes on, and there's a scripted message that you all heard me say at the beginning of tonight's video, and it takes roughly anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds to say that statement. That statement never changes. Whoever the presenter is the one who gives that opening statement, that welcome address. And then next we move to our creators section. So one of the things that I love, and please guys feel free to jump in anytime. One of the things that I love about our current show flow is the idea that we have it in those segments where we talk about those very important 3 C's: creators, content, and then how we connect this content to our own personal channels and to our C3 channel. So as it stands right now, when we go to the creators section, it's all 3 of us on screen. It's the introduction of whoever the presenter is for the night. The presenter then kind of gives a little intro statement as far as what the topic is. And then each of the other 2 creators give a brief experience or something they're hoping to learn. On average, this takes us anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes to get through. The introductions are scripted. We never change what we say about the presenter, but then everything after that is unique to whatever our topic is for the night. And then if we are on a live stream, we are now almost 10 minutes in, and then we are getting to the content. So right at the end of the creator section, we do a call to action, which we show the overlay on the screen, and we ask for, like, subscribe, notification. Takes about 8 seconds. And then we get to the content. The content is typically a screen share overlay, talking head, and most weeks, each of the options has all 3 of us visibly on screen. And this section has been running anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Typically, we're on the high end. 25 to 30 is usually where we're falling in. And then the connect section. And this is where the presenter asks the other 2 individuals for their thoughts, any major takeaways, how they think they're going to implement something like this. And then we interact with and engage with the audience, answer questions that have been posted through the chat, etc. This is taking anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Usually averages 12 to 13. And then we have our closing. So the closing has been a very scripted thing. Manny does a call to action asking for subscribers and pointing people to our website and our group. Kevin does a call to action asking for engagement and comments. And then I do the sign off and hint at the next topic. And the closing typically takes anywhere from 2 to 2.5 minutes. And that's also all scripted on the right. So that is our current flow. So if you add everything up, our show is taking on average 45 minutes, our live streams. And now I want to kind of scroll down here and talk about some revisions. So let's start with the very first thing, which isn't super important because this gets trimmed, but thoughts on cutting the countdown timer down to 2 minutes. A show of hands. Okay, we vote yes.
I do like the 2 minutes. At the very beginning, we did 3 just as a comfort for our last minute prep and get ready. But because we've been doing this for 50 plus shows now, we've kind of got into a rhythm about how to get prepared for this. So I'm ready to actually chop it down to 2 minutes. So I don't know. What do you think, Manny?
Whether it's 2 or 3 minutes, I don't know that it's a really big difference considering that we do trim it at the end of it. I've seen a lot of countdowns, 5 minutes, even longer in some cases, 30 minutes. That's a little extensive. Between 2 and 3 minutes, I don't know if it's a world of difference, but for us, I know for time's sakes, I like the idea of cutting it down, even that 1 minute. I always like the idea of giving them a little time to jump on, giving them a little time. Go get your beverage, go get your, you know, get yourself ready if you want to be live. And a lot of that also comes down to, do you have engaging fans that actually want to be live and tuning in? So there comes a comfort level on their end. So I feel like there's a respect of not being too long. So when I really stop and think about it, I think 2 minutes is perfect.
Okay. All right. So I have some new audio that we will circle back to and take a listen to, uh, because I want to get to some of the more important things here first, which brings me to the next thing. So if, based on everything that I've learned, I've taken courses with Tim Schmoyer, with Owen Video, I'm a forever student. And so one of the things that is really important, and I 100% agree with this now with the implementation of that autoplay feature, is immediately doing a hook. And so what you can see that I've done in this section is I've kind of thrown some ideas. So everything in red is something that we would be considering either like adding or changing. And this whole section is something that we would be adding brand new. So these are some just general thoughts that I threw down in terms of, what could this look like? What would it be? Would we want to create language that basically, carries through each week, or so on and so forth? So with the hook, I was thinking presenter only, like full screen. So as soon as the countdown timer goes away, it's only one person's face on the screen. And I'll give you my rationale for that in just a second. So the goal of the hook, that's what I have typed here, is that you want to show that the expectation from the title and thumbnail that people see is going to be delivered. And you want to open up with the topic. You want to tease what's at risk, what's at stake for people. Why should they be so invested in the topic we're presenting? What's going to happen during the live stream? And then, of course, what's the reward the viewer will get by watching the video. And it's really important that this is no more than 1 or 2 sentences. This is not a very long, drawn-out explanation. This is literally something that should take like 10 seconds, 15 seconds tops, depending on how fast you talk. So here's why I offer up the idea of presenter only on screen. I think one of the other things that we all as content creators, not just C3, but all of us out there, need to consider is repurposing and multi-platform content streams, videos. And so if we ever want to get to the point where we turn a live stream into like a formal recorded video, it's just the presenter's face on screen. We cut that as the hook, and then we basically move to their content, which would also be primarily them on screen or their screen share. So that was my rationale for putting that, but it's not something that has to be set in stone. So feel free to throw thoughts out there. Why don't we'll go Kevin first so that we're not tripping on top of each other.
No, I absolutely love the idea of just having the presenter on screen. And yeah, it's like, for instance, if Ecamm came out with an update, it's like, don't go live, or don't do your live stream until you've heard about these new Ecamm updates, or some sort of quick message like that. So yeah, I absolutely love having that at the very beginning. And so yeah, definite yes from me to have that. What about you, Manny?
Oh, absolutely. I love the idea of just the presenter being on screen because you are it's your show tonight. Like tonight, it's your show. So it's like starting it, finishing it, and then the three of us interjecting with our comments and just like this where we're tabling stuff and talking about stuff. It only makes sense, and I think it'll make it easier for the hook part. you know Granted, it's easy to say, oh, that's a female voice, go to the female thought, but when it comes to our eyeballs and what we're focused on, we don't want to get interrupted with, well, what's Manny wearing, what's Kevin wearing, while Dory's trying to talk. So I love that idea.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I also like the fact that after we do our live show and you trim that 2 minutes off at the beginning, when you're just auto playing over top of it, it immediately says what's the focus of the video, as opposed to um, the previous hello that we have before, as opposed to knowing what the content actually is going to be.
Right. And I think, because if you remember, even back in the early stages, we were making sure that all three of us were showing up on the thumbnails to really emphasize the fact that it was a 3-man team, doing the show together.
3-person
But then
team.
you know what I mean. So basically, if you look at it in terms of, how we've kind of progressed even through the thumbnails, whoever's doing the presentation is the one that's, highlighted and focused on in the thumbnail. So I think that would be that's also marrying up that expectation of someone who sees the thumbnail and sees my face, and then they come on screen and then they see like a panel discussion. There might be some level of confusion there. So, so if you guys are good with that,
Yep.
let's vote
Yeah.
for a yes, everybody. Okay.
I kind of take a little bit of a different approach, like with my YouTube channel. Like my hook is at the very beginning. Like I don't have a countdown. Yes, I have had a countdown in the past. Maybe if I had like 1,000 people on and there was so much engagement, maybe I might change it up a little bit. But I noticed that people want me to focus on the story that I'm telling. So I always open up, like my hook is telling them what I'm going to be diving into, and what's a big part of this story that we're going to be talking about. And then, like, to me, like, I then go to like a 30-second intro, which is kind of like my channel intro, like not
Right.
necessarily a commercial break, but more of just like an intro video to my channel, and then boom, straight to the story. So that's
Okay.
kind of my hook, is at the very beginning, where like I always wonder, because like with clients, I've done the countdown as well, and that just doesn't ever have a good feel to it. So that's why I don't do the countdown with them. So we're more focused on like, what is it that we're going to be doing today, going into little intro about the channel, dive into the content. So
Okay.
that's kind of the approach we take and trying to hook them in.
Okay.
So you don't really have any buffer in case of any technical difficulties. It's just like you immediately go live and then start with your hook.
Yes, to
Okay.
keep, that's my way of trying to keep them like, this is the story we're diving into, and my gosh, wait till we talk about what, kind of using those words that appeal, that grab attention, and one of those other hooks, like if we ever do anything giveaways, and stick around to the end, because you really want that watch time, and especially for YouTube, the biggest part is that watch time that YouTube puts, that algorithm, whereas Facebook is all about engagement, engagement, engagement. So hooking them in, keeping them in, and keeping them, as long as you can, is a really big factor, and especially for YouTube, but in general, all videos, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, I see your point too, Manny, but I also like, so for this show, I think keeping the countdown timer.
Way we do it, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So then what we're gonna want to do is maybe craft like a formula, if you will, for a hook. so that we can kind of plug that in and keep it to that. Like, this has got to stay like 10 to 15 seconds
Yeah,
max
absolutely.
for it to work. So we need to create a formula. And I have a couple options that we can kind of play with and really make it our own kind of voice. Also, AI is excellent for this. Just side note for the viewers. Okay, so now that kind of brings us into the actual like meat of it. So the next thing after a hook would be kind of like a branded intro value proposition. And this is literally like a 3 to 5 second like zinger where you quickly get a chance to pitch what the channel is all about to somebody who's new. Kind of give them a feel for like who you are, what your message is, what your value proposition is, all that kind of stuff. So I thought my notes there, if you can see them, like we kind of give a value proposition in our welcome statement. But we would definitely like, let's call it frill it up a little bit, I was thinking like just create like a little teaser video where, maybe it's like a flash of like 3 action shots or something in that 10 seconds from like 3 different streams. And then it's, just somebody doing a voiceover with the statement.
I was going to say that definitely is longer than 5 seconds for me to read. So to actually say it, I don't know if it's that 3 to 5 second range or whether we wanted to alter that script that we have.
So I timed that, I thought. So this whole section here, our regular welcome, takes 10 to 15 seconds, but that's the waving and all of us saying hello before the presenter actually says the thing. So, I don't know. I mean, we can play with it and see. Whatever you guys think. I mean, this was just an idea, but I don't know if if you guys would also consider that to be a value proposition.
I think what you have on that screen right there is definitely a value proposition because we're focused on connecting with others through video, which is where someone can do this anywhere across the world. We talk about, our focus is content development and the purpose behind it, and then who we are. I think you nailed it. I mean, I'm a fan of even leaving that. And only because I'm afraid because we had the 2 minute countdown and then we're taking them away from us again. It is kind of like my quick thought on that.
You mean removing us off the screen? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, if we had a video playing, we're back. I feel like after the 2 minutes, quick, if we're on the screen or is it going? Yeah, because we're gonna have the hook of the one person, and then we're gonna have. Well, if we can do 5 seconds, I like that, but that could be a little challenging to get 5 seconds across real quick.
Well, somebody time me. I'm gonna read it.
Okay. All right. Hold on a second.
You let me know when you're ready.
Okay. So with that, okay, I'm ready. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here we are all about encouraging the 3 C's, connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and creators sharing their experiences despite their distance.
So like 14.9.
Crap.
Yeah. So that's if we did keep it with the 3 of us on the screen, we can get away with that, I think.
Like if we do keep it at the 15 and just keep that phrase the way it is, then we can make that video like 5 seconds each of each one of our shows. Like, I like the idea of having that sort of video there and then somebody voicing over this.
Okay. I mean, because that's one less thing. That's an asset that once we load it, we can set it so that it automatically plays that video and then would get into what I had next, which was all three of us on screen.
Yeah, if we could do it in 5 seconds, that if we could do something in 5 seconds, I think. I mean, generally, like even an intro, like an intro, like this type of video can be 12 seconds, in my opinion. I mean, that's just my thought process. Like, like I have mine. I kind of, I was for my intro video, I was looking at a well-known, station and the way their intro was, and I was like, ooh, they got a picture of someone like this, and so I was trying to, kind of guide it along, but not obviously they're professionals, and I'm just learning, right? And I think if we can, obviously mine is a little longer than I would even recommend, but if we could do 12 seconds, I think that won't hurt us.
Ooh,
But
ooh, ooh, wait. I just I just checked my notes. Okay,
okay,
so I have good news.
okay,
I actually combined two things. So the branded intro is usually the zinger, just the zinger. That's the 3 to 5 seconds where you flash like what we do when we do the creators, the connect, when we do the transitions.
gotcha. Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
zinger is
Something really
just
short.
you branding yourself, like you just flashing
Gotcha.
your logo and maybe like a one-line statement. The value proposition, my idea was to combine the two together into an asset, like a recorded video. So instead of, so if you watch someone's channel, right, they'll usually be like, hi, I'm Dori Spencer, and this is, I'm your confidence catalyst where I do, which is your value proposition. And that's usually how you introduce yourself in your videos, which is separate from your branded zinger intro. So there is not really a time limit on the value proposition thing.
Okay, that's good.
I just double checked my notes on my little side document here, and I was like, why didn't I type that on there? But I didn't. So, so if that whole thing could be like less than 15 seconds,
Then we're good.
and we
Then we're
create
good,
the
yeah.
asset, so okay, woo, this is good. Okay. So basically what we're going to want to do here is we're each going to want to pick like a little 5-second, there won't be any audio, but it'll be like you pick like 5 seconds of, a visual of you on screen that you'll want to use. And then we can kind of clip it together, make it look professional, flash the C3 logo, and then do the voiceover.
So then once you get that video together, would each of us then do a voiceover, and then whoever's presenting that show, that's the voiceover that we use for that particular show?
That is totally up to you guys. If you want to have 3 different versions of it and have whoever's presenting be the voice, or if you just want to do one asset and that's the video no matter what. So that's something we need to decide. Do you have any thoughts on that, Kevin, while we're waiting for Manny to come back?
I was thinking of having 3 different ones, because then we get sort of everybody involved in the sort of opening of it, as opposed to just the person who's actually going to be speaking and presenting doing everything for that one show. So sort of splitting up the voices, I guess, to also help encourage, or not encourage, but let people know that it's not just the one person, it's a team of us 3.
Or what about if each of us recorded a piece? So there was one asset, but like each of us pick a line to read. So it is all 3 of us doing part of that intro.
Yeah.
And then there
I
was
like
just
that
one
idea.
asset. Yeah, so because I think having 3 different versions maybe might get confusing after a while. Like, but if we just create one and we each like pick a piece to read, we can just overlay that audio. So like,
Yeah.
you know, when we put your 5 seconds of video up on the screen, it's your voice that's reading that piece of the value proposition. And then the same for my 5 seconds and the same for Manny's 5 seconds.
Isn't that creating 3 assets, or is it each of us
No, no,
reading
no, no.
one line of that?
No, because I'm going to make one video. You're going to give me 5 seconds. Manny's going to give me 5 seconds. I'm going to pick 5 seconds, and we're going to make a 15-second video as one asset.
The video, not the audio.
Well, the audio is going to be on top of it. We're going to dub it over it.
But who is actually speaking the audio portion?
All 3 of us. We're going to take turns. So like if I started and I go, welcome to Content Creators Connect, it would be my 5 seconds of me being animated blah, 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 on the screen. And then you would read the next part.
And then here we are all about encouraging the 3 C's.
Yeah. And then for those 5 seconds, your face would be on the screen doing one of your demonstrations or something.
Okay.
And then Manny's face would be on. So it's literally just, it's a 15-second teaser video where you're on screen, but what we hear is you reading part of the value proposition. We see you giving a presentation. Yeah. How does that sound?
I like that. And then we just have one asset that we play for every show then.
Okay. Have each of us pick a 5-second video clip.
And we'll
There
have
won't
to break
be any
down
audio.
how long 5 seconds is for the value proposition.
Right. I mean, we'll get it close.
Yeah.
There won't be any audio for that clip. And then we will read a portion of the value proposition while our video clip is on screen. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So, so basically, like, if you look at the hook, like, I was trying to look at an example of a hook that I wrote for this. So basically I asked ChatGPT to write me a hook that was no more than like 2 sentences. And it basically said this. I also asked it to use my like sarcastic, charismatic voice. So my hook would be different, like, because ChatGPT learns your actual like personality and voice when you put. So this is what it came up with. I'm going to read it verbatim. All right, Livestream legends, listen up. Buckle in for a mind-blowing workshop where we're dishing out the juiciest tips to slam dunk your opening hooks and turbocharge your show flow. Say goodbye to snooze-fest streams and hello to countdown timers that'll make them salivate, overlays that pop like fireworks, branding that's slicker than a spy, and organization so smooth it'll put James Bond to shame. Your audience won't know what hit them. Get ready to rule the live stream jungle. Now, that is what I used as a description because it was a little long. But you can literally ask it to rewrite it so that it's shorter and no more than 2 sentences. So when I did that, it said this. Ready to take your live stream to the next level? Join us in this collaborative workshop as we unravel the secrets of crafting captivating opening hooks and supercharging your show flow with countdown timers, overlays, branding assets, and impeccable organization, all designed to keep your audience engaged and coming back for more. So it's not
ChatGPT.
Yeah. And I mean, but there are definitely formulas for that. So we've got that. And then the welcome part, I thought would be the 3 of us on screen, like for the first time live together. And then, so I asked a question in Reddit. I don't know what you guys think about this. Do we need this anymore? Like, do we need to be individually introducing, like how Kevin, you introduced me tonight, right? Or like we have that thing where it says like about like DSpence, confidence catalyst, and all that kind of stuff. Do we need that? Do we like
Personally,
that?
I think we do because of new viewers. Maybe they haven't been following us. They haven't watched us from the very beginning, so they really don't know who is actually presenting. So today may be their very first video that they see of us, and it's like, well, who is Dori?
Okay.
That's my thought.
Okay. Yes, Manny?
I I'm a fan of edifying. So like being the person who is going to be the main presenter and someone talking them up beforehand helps build it. So I think that, of course I don't mind always trying to cut time where we can in the little ways, but I love what we bring. So it's like, especially the person that's presenting, let's talk them up.
So if we keep the intro of the presenter, because the presenter gave the hook at the beginning of the video, they don't really need to speak here. So really,
Exactly.
so like Kevin, if you introduced me, all I would really do is presenter would give maybe a question or thought to ponder, and then the other two respond. That should cut down some time there, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so if you introduced me, I would have just jumped right into, so Manny, we're 53 episodes in. What are you excited about? And then, Manny would give a 1 or 2 minute, you would give a 1 or 2 minute, and then move right into the next thing.
Yeah, I think that is, just went back to the notes of what we actually do currently. And yeah, you actually give the whole introduction. So if we're doing that as an asset, then yeah, you really just need to come in and pop a question.
Right. And then I don't need to explain anything, like you lead me in with a question because that's part of the hook at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
maybe we could cut this down to like 4 minutes.
Yeah, we should be able to do that.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, now call to actions. This is my question. So we do a call to action before we move to content. Do we want to do it here? Do we move it until after the content so we get to the content faster? Or do we only do it in one place and not both? Because we also do call to actions as part of our outro.
Personally, I like the idea of doing it after the content because the way we have it worded is if this is the type of content that you like when we haven't even done the content yet.
Okay. Manny?
I like doing it before, even a little sooner than we currently do, even if we don't even say anything, but just have the subscribe button pop up. I do feel like more early at the show, towards the end of the show.
Okay. Could we add this as part of that that welcome video that we do?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I like that. Just adding it in,
Okay.
like just popping up the like and subscribe animation is what you're talking about, Dory.
Yep.
Okay.
So
And you could even do one of those where it even kind of swooshes in, kind of makes a little sound and ding,
Yep.
just you can easily do
I have
something
one of
along
those.
those
Yep.
lines.
So then the content is, the content is what it is. It's screen share overlay, talking head. We typically make sure all three of us are on screen. I think we want to maintain that format. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so do we need to get this down to around 10 or 15 minutes or 15 to 20? We've been averaging 25 to 30.
I would say yes, because people want bite size, quick,
Okay.
give me the value, short period of time, let me get on with my life.
So max 15 or max 20?
I would say 15, but 20
I-
is not bad if we go over a little bit.
Yeah, I would say 15 as well, because that would give us, um, and actually, if we're going to do it into short form, snippets, depending how many sort of bullet points we each have, that we could, yeah, chop it up into digestible sizes in a short
Okay.
form content.
Okay.
I think
Um,
though, if we were to keep, every once in a while, like say a training like this, that's going to
yeah,
be
we're
hard to
going
do in
long. Yeah.
15 minutes,
Yeah,
and I think there is a space for this as well.
Right.
there are some exceptions, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Um, and then the connect section. So always us on screen. I changed the overlay just a little bit to kind of give, the audience a little bit of a different look, change our nameplates. But the presenter asks others for the thoughts, and we interact and engage with the audience and then answer any questions that are posted in chat. So, this tends to depend on how much engagement and how many questions we're answering and how we are engaging with each other too, like how we bounce out an idea and then it pings something else in our head. So do you think there's really anything we need to change about this section?
I
I
think that's a
don't
good
think it's
time.
I don't think we need to change anything, but I think we just have to keep an eye sort of on the clock on this section. Just be more cognizant of how long we're actually running, depending on how long that presentation went.
Okay. And then the last piece for this evening. So typically our outro is that, scripted call to action. Manny says one piece, then you, Kevin, and then me. So one of the suggestions that I've seen in a lot of trainings is to give one summarizing statement and try to lead viewers to some of our other content now. I think we've got enough out there that, whoever the presenter is gives like a summarization statement and then like says, if you want more on this, check out, and then list another video on our channel that they can go and watch.
I
Thoughts?
agree with that. I agree with
Okay.
that.
All right. From presenter. And then do we need to ask, so this was my question. I think Manny, you already answered. You want to keep it here as well, right? At the end?
Absolutely.
The CTA again? Okay. I just wanted to make sure we weren't being like redundant.
Well, this
And
one we can say that, whereas if we just do it earlier with just it popping up, we're not necessarily asking ourselves at that moment.
okay. And always signing off and teasing the next content, I think, is important too, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think, dang, guys, I think we did it.
Can you go back down again? I was wondering
Yes.
on something on the further on the a little bit more the content. Oh no, not I'm sorry, the connect part.
Yep.
Yeah, when we're given our feedback on the content, maybe we have a timer on the screen that shows 1 minute for me to give my feedback. 1 minute to just give the value at that moment. Because I know for me, I have a tendency to be like, oh my God, I'm still talking. Shut up. In the back of my head, like wrap it up. What, like don't take over the stream or anything like that. I think that, just giving it straight to the point, this is the value, this is my thoughts, and just kind of, again, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe just a little, this could be part of the connect section
I
between 10
love
to
that
15
idea.
minutes. I feel like maybe we can even narrow it down, just being more specific and not going off on Manny tangents. Manny, I'm referring to Manny.
You're talking yourself in the third person. Uh-oh.
I love that idea. What do you
And
think,
we can
Kevin?
come up. I love the idea. There's a stream that I watch, and it's called 7 Minutes in HE Double Hockey Sticks. And each person has a topic that they discuss. And after the 7 minutes is up, it's like, boom, it's cut off. You can't can talk about it anymore. And then they move on to the next topic. So for doing something like this, we can have it's like a, well, can create a catchy name or something like that, like Connect Corner or something like that, where you
Okay.
have 1 minute to discuss the previous or the content that we just discussed or something along those lines. But no, I do like having that idea of having the 1 minute and then you sort of have in the corner of your eye, okay, I have 10 seconds to wrap up, sort of thing.
I love that. That's a
Yeah.
great suggestion, Manny. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know I will direct you guys to some new options for some audio. And since we went long, we won't play it on here. To pick if we had some people leaving us comments and questions and stuff, I figured they could have voted, but
What about doing a poll to our audience?
Ooh, we could. I could load that on the channel and put the options out there. Let them listen. I do want to let people know there are 2 places that I get for a very low cost option. So audio.com, it's spelled with 2 I's. I paid like a one-time fee, and every time you choose a song, you pick a license type. So I get a lot of content from there. And then Creator Mix is done by the Nimmin brothers, Nick Nimmin and Dee Nimmin. And it's also a great resource, totally free. Of course, if you want to, donate and do a buy me a coffee for them or something, it's always appreciated by them, but not required. And so those are the 2 places that I use to get audio assets from. And those are the places that I downloaded a few new options from. So I think that we have a lot to digest. I don't know if we'll be able to get it all implemented by next Sunday, but we promise we are going to try our hardest.
My friends, if it is content like this that you enjoy and you find it useful, we would love it if you'd like and subscribe. And sharing our content is also a great way to spread the love. And if you visit our website, right there on your screen, you see Linktree/Content Creators Connect. And you can find all the different ways that you can connect with us. And we are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
And we want to hear from you as well. So drop down in those comments things that you would like us to dive deeper into as well. Dori presented some awesome stuff today, so we have a lot to work through. So we're going to take a look and see how we can revamp our show flow. And if that's helping, definitely let us know. And if you'd like us to dive even deeper, let us know as well. So over to Dori to wrap things up.
Thank you for joining Content Creators Connect, aka C3, tonight as we workshopped our new show flow to better serve all of you. We return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Manny will be sharing with you how to break down any task into manageable steps with a very simple AI tool. I'm kind of excited to hear about this. We'll be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. So be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to identify and lean into your 3 C's. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. See you next week.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.